Like, and I see how y'all wanted me to talk about the Cardi shit, even though y'all probably want to talk about other stuff. So let me give you the lowdown and the real about this whole Cardi situation, right? So, Playboy Carti was arrested back in December. This was his mugshot. He was arrested for allegedly choking out a girl that was supposedly pregnant. Now, they called the person his girlfriend, but if you read the story, it says something kind of different. Now, apparently, they were fighting or they were into it over the paternity of the child, which again is also interesting. We're gonna try to make some sense of it. By the way, we're not condoning violence against women, nothing like that. But sometimes when you read police reports, which this is how TMZ gets their information, they got it from a police report and they pretty much wrote a story. It usually is one-sided, right? So anyway, it says Playboi Carti was arrested in Georgia for allegedly choking his pregnant girlfriend following an argument over a paternity test. Now, just that line alone. So you're saying that he had a pregnant girlfriend, which we didn't know about. At least I didn't know about it. Maybe you did. And he choked her out because they argument over the paternity test. Now, is the paternity test, if you don't know what a paternity test, it usually is a test that, by the way, I don't know if she was currently pregnant at the time. I found this out later because there was a girl trying to pin a fake pregnancy on me. Apparently about like 6 to 7 months into the pregnancy, you could do a prenatal paternity test, right? That's usually a test that if you are in doubt that you're the father of the pregnant woman's child, you could get a test done while the baby's still in the belly. Or if the baby's born, you could just like swab the mouth or something like that and get a DNA test done, cross-matching your DNA, right? So when I hear that he's in an argument over a paternity test, clearly it would assume and mean that Cardi was maybe arguing with his pregnant girlfriend to say, nigga, I ain't the dad. I ain't the pappy. Fuck that. I'm not the father of that there kid. That there jit. Right? According to the arrest affidavit obtained by TMZ, the woman told police the rapper grabbed her by the throat and pushed her and held onto her neck until she could barely breathe. She even told the cops that she was going to die. Police said the woman told officers that she'd been in a relationship with Carti for 2 damn years, lived with him since July 2022, was 14 weeks pregnant at the at the time of the alleged incident. Okay, now it's probably a lot complicated stuff that goes into this. Who knows? Maybe this is a situation where Cardi don't want the kid. Maybe they've been having ongoing conversations. Maybe I really don't know it, and nor do I want to cape for him because there's gonna be somebody be like, oh my god, yo, you're just defending every rapper because you like them or you know them or he put you on your album. We don't really know what's going on here. Here's the interesting part though, okay? And when I mean interesting part, because this is the 99, or I won't say 99, let's just say 80 out of 100 times if a woman calls the cops on a guy, that guy's going to jail, right? We've seen it in Javante Davis' situation where she basically came out to say, nah, I just capped. It was lies. And we don't want to just assume that someone's lying, but we also got to take into account that not because someone's arrested means they're automatically guilty, right? So if we keep going down, and it says, the woman told cops she wanted to talk to Cardi about the baby, and a conversation about paternity led to an argument, which she claims escalated to a physical attack. It looked like maybe she was wanting to say, yo, Cardi, I'm pregnant with your kid, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of funny because clearly Cardi doesn't think, or probably is doubting that he's the father of the child, which now makes, you could possibly imagine what they were arguing about, maybe infidelity or some other things, okay? She told police a witness jumped in, tried to break up the fight, and she was able to escape Cardi's grasp, ran into the car, and that's when he attacked her again. The alleged victim told cops Cardi tried to pull her out of the car and put his hand over her mouth as she tried to use the SOS feature to call police. When cops arrived, police say the woman had visible injuries to her neck, chest, and back. He was arrested for felony aggravated assault. Okay. You see, he got the best of the best. This is Young Thug's lawyer. By the way, the more we cover these things with court cases, you're going to see the same lawyers pop up. These guys got to be getting a killing. Like Brian Steele is probably charging Cardi 50 grand. Minimum. This might be $100,000 case. He probably tells Cardi, yo, give me $100,000. You're going to beat this fucking case. Okay, this shit's going to be dismissed, and I'm going to make sure that TMZ prints it when it's dismissed. I need 100 bands for this. Easy, locked. You get what I mean? That's just the reality of the situation, right? So, yeah. So, It says his attorney says Mr. Carter was falsely accused pursuant to my communications with the district attorney's office. The case will be dismissed. Look, pursuant to my communications with the Fulton district attorney's office, the case will be like the lawyer just telling you what's going to happen. It will be dismissed without any prosecutor litigation. You know what that's telling me? I'm not going to say that this woman is lying, right? But again, if the woman is probably, let's say she has a kid for him, or let's say they're together, who knows what happened that night? I'm pretty sure the attorney probably has an investigator on and probably talk to her and be like, yo, listen, are you really going to have Carti really facing legit serious charges over this shit? Y'all were fighting. Y'all were probably both hitting each other, blah, blah, blah. I'm being honest. This is how this probably goes. They probably talk to her. She's like, nah, I'm not going to cooperate. Without her cooperation, because it's probably a bunch of he said, she said, right? Or they might even have her to be on Carti's side to say, yo, Carti never hit me. Actually, I got those injuries from doing some other shit. They're going to drop the case, right? So when a lawyer talks that confidently, it's usually because the woman who accused the guy of domestic abuse is going to stay with the guy, and this is going to turn into nothing. So I agree that it's going to turn into nothing. It's not a good look for Playboi Carti though, because there has been other cases where he's been accused with Playboi Carti, Ruby Rose Airport. Ruby Rose called the cops on him before. Which ironically she spoke about it on Vlad,
music videos initially.
I've done one. I've done two. Yes.
Right, but the music videos that you've done were huge.
Yeah.
Bad and Bougie.
Bad and Bougie.
You were eating ramen, I guess.
Yeah, at the time for me, yeah,
more than twice as big.
We did
almost
that.
three times as big. You really start out.
I don't think he does music as much.
Bouncing around. Hang out at your place in the hood in Atlanta?
Yeah, my mom bought me a house. It was like a nice big house in the hood, but she redid it so it was nice inside.
Okay.
And he was living with me, so I don't like when people because people always assume that I was gaining from him, but I really didn't gain. Unfortunately, didn't gain anything from him.
Okay.
But what were we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, he would go to your house.
He would come to my house, and I lived in the hood in Pittsburgh, and people would shoot all the time, and he would shoot off my balcony. But then one time, we got in a little argument because I hid his phones before his flight, and it just was we were outside. He it wasn't directly at me. It was just more
Okay, so before
in
this
the vicinity.
incident. Okay, so before this incident, he would get on your balcony and just shoot off his gun, and no one would say anything. No one called the police or.
It's Atlanta.
Yeah, that's normal shit in Atlanta.
Well, where I was staying at, yeah.
So no one was wanted to have the police come out anyway. So they were just all right.
No.
No one got hit. All right.
No.
All right. Anyway, she was in a very public. I don't know if everybody remembers it. Playboi Carti. It was at an airport or whatever. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Arrested at LAX for domestic battery of girlfriend. Apparently this was Ruby Rose. According to the police report, the female in the incident was his girlfriend of 3 years from Atlanta. She told cops that their argument started because he wanted her to call her mom to check in, but she didn't want to. Carti told the cops he snatched his girlfriend's phone from her hands and did grab her by the backpack to pull her out of the terminal. He says she hit him but he was not injured. That's another thing, right? You see, if a guy tells the cops, "Oh, she hit me," the cops gonna look at you and be like, "You tough, ain't you?" Like, nigga, I ain't seen no fucking damage on you. So that's the interesting part. So the girl hits you, you don't have a scratch, you touch her, and she has a bruise. You're done, right? You know, what I mean, they don't give a fuck what you say. Another witness says she slapped him in the face. The witness who called the cops says she saw a red mark on the girlfriend's chest from Carti pulling her by the backpack straps. Cops didn't physically see any interest on both of them. Yeah. This was the arrest right here. And then, yeah. He was actually released at the time. So pretty much, it's... I don't know if Carti's abusive, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Honestly, and by the way, I'm not trying to like belittle none of this stuff. Like, if you look at this looks like a story where two people get into it. Also, it looks like she probably initiated it, right? Like, she looked like she's taking a little blame for it. But who cares? You know, Carti's a man. This whole situation with his pregnant girlfriend, and I'm hoping that's not true. But again, by how confident his lawyer is, I wouldn't be surprised if his supposed pregnant girlfriend comes out and says, "No, he really didn't do anything. I was over exaggerating." At that point, what are we still talking about? Now, I'm gonna be fair, because Iggy Azalea jumped out. You know, what I mean, she chose to jump out, and she sent out a couple tweets about Carti. It looked like she was pretty much saying that Carti was abusive to her too. And this is what she said. She said, "Been there, done that, warned you." Right? By the way, there was a girl that Iggy was beefing with when she broke up with Carti, basically saying that this was the girl that Carti like chose and fucked up their whole relationship for. I'm not sure if that's the same girl that he's supposedly got pregnant, but here's Iggy saying, "Imagine having a pregnant girlfriend and pretending they don't exist until it comes out that you like to abuse them too." By the way, her obviously saying you abuse them too, pretty much almost kind of acting like she was abused too, right? And really visiting your actual son unless it's because you're running from whatever problems you got going on in Atlanta, which is like kind of an indictment of Cardi's street presence to say, "Damn nigga, like you getting ran out of Atlanta, so you come over here to visit your son." Going on in Atlanta and the press with your serial abusive woman. So basically, she's saying what a lot of people have said about, you know, sometimes their ex. And this is why sometimes I think it's kind of sad because, like, we don't have any way of proving these things, but we don't want to call these people a liar. I mean, Nicki Minaj pretty much said that Meek abused her, right? She didn't call the cops on Meek. Iggy never really called the cops on Playboi Carti. How are we supposed to know if this is true or this is people who are hurt? Anyway, she said, "Anyway, I'm having an amazing day. Karma's real. Treat the people you love well. Happy Valentine's Day." Iggy, this is a very bitter post. And while, you know, if you are a victim, I'm going to support you in you saying your piece. This felt like you were trying to enjoy his downfall more than you were trying to heal. And this is something you've been saying, and maybe you've been harboring a little bit more resentment over time, as you may have thought that his parenting skills aren't up to the par that you would like. You know, you're talking about how little he visits his son. You're talking about how he ignores or doesn't acknowledge like the people he's with. So it seems like this might be some pent up issues that you have with Carti more than you were just saying that he's just literally an abusive guy. Because when we've seen you speak about him in the past, we didn't hear anything about abuse. We just heard about pretty much him ignoring to go play Xbox with Uzi. You get what I mean? So, one of those type of things. We will see. All right. Let me get off of this real quick. Let me see what else been going on. So, Whack 100 said some shit recently, and it was basically commented on the fact that the majority of newer rappers, they all paint their nails. This is what he said.
Okay, listen. I've been getting this, this question about the youngsters and fingernail, wearing fingernail polish. Me personally, I don't wear fingernail polish. I'm from a different era. I'm a 70 baby. You know, I wear one earring, not two, right? That's just our thing, right? So I say, shit, I gotta ask the youngsters, cause I know a lot of youngsters, Trippie Redd, NBA, Lil Uzi. Like, I know these men. Like, these men are not feminine. These men are not gay. They're very masculine. They're very stand-up individuals. But they bringing them up like, yo, whack, they wear fingernail polish. Why? I said, I don't know. It's a different era. When I grew up, niggas was sagging their pants. You know, your ass is out. So motherfuckers, my parents and uncles was like, what y'all doing with your ass out? Nigga, that's gay. But it wasn't gay. It was just some trendy shit we was doing. So now I'm coming to y'all. To the youngsters out there, I'm hearing something about emo and all this other shit. Can y'all leave a comment down below on what it is about the youngsters? What does the fingernail polish represent? I personally, because of some of the youngsters I mentioned that I know, and I know these young men as men, they're masculine men. I don't think it means that. I just think it's another type of movement. But I don't know. They asking me this fucking question on Clubhouse, and I ain't got no answer for it, so I'm not going to make no assumption about it. So y'all leave a comment below so I can go back and have this conversation. West up. Okay, listen.
Okay, so and by the way, Trippie read in the comment section. He said, "Yo, it's a way of expressing your feelings, also being true to yourself and self care." I'm gonna say a little bit of the first. I'm gonna say cap on a second about being true to yourself and self care. I think the majority of people who are painting their nails or doing other things are trying to be different. So yes, it's part of expressing yourself. But let me just tell you this: like, unfortunately, everybody's trying to be so unique, but you can't reinvent the wheel. Everything you could possibly do, someone else has done. And while these guys are trying to be seen as different, which, by the way, that's part of the job title when you're trying to seem elusive, you're trying to seem like you're misunderstood. There's a lot of equity in that, right? If nobody understood you, like the mysterious effect of it all, that helps a lot of people's career. Think about The Weeknd. It helped them for a long time. If you can make people feel like you're just different, you're otherworldly, you're not of this earth, you know what I mean? Like I'll even go as far to say I think that's part of the reason why X fucking shaved his eyebrows and did all that stuff. Now, granted, was he going through some stuff and also probably, you know, thinking about stuff in a different way? Yeah, I'm not gonna neglect that. But let's be honest, when we see these individuals who have never done this stuff before fame, we have to acknowledge that fame is doing something to them, right? And it's probably a little bit of pressures of fame in them trying to stand out, right? That's making them do it, right? Again, has Trippie Redd ever painted his nails before he got famous? Has YoungBoy? Has Lil Yachty? Have these individuals worn dresses? Have they worn makeup before being famous? You can't tell me that a behavior just starts when you're famous now. Like, that's odd to me. So all of a sudden you're famous and now it's paint nails time. You could go to listen. It don't take money to go to the fucking nail shop and spend a little $80 and go get some black nail polish. They might even like cut your cuticles and shit like that. They'll do it. But you didn't think about it when you were broke. You only thought about it when you were filthy rich. You only thought about it when you were trying to create and carve out a lane for yourself. So that's when I look at it. I'm like, yeah, I think they are trying to express themselves, but let's be honest. I think a lot of part of it, they're trying to show that they're unique. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not mad that they're trying to do it. But, you know, sometimes they try to explain this thing where it's like, oh, just super different. No, if you were broke, you're not doing this type of thing. Okay? Let's be honest. I've just never seen the broke dude be like, yo, yeah, I'm just painting my... By the way, if any of these guys were doing this shit when they were broke, people would just call them weird. All right. People, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This is a